Hey, what's going on, everybody? I think I'm going to title this it's a really quick briefing for everybody. Started from the bottom, now we here. Now we are here, now we are here, now we are here. And this is one of the places I stay in the winters here in Miami. And in the last 4 years or so, maybe three and a half, I made a good living all during the 2010s. And then crypto happened in 2021. I don't know if you guys can see. I just want to share I want to just share the tropical vibe. It's not anything to brag about. I'm just saying that, uh, for those of you that do not appreciate the pullback that we're getting in crypto right now, there's a saying. I used to actually say this to my girlfriend, that she was potentially emotionally dyslexic and spiritually retarded, or the other way around. So might want to check that slogan for your own good, because this pullback is a gift. It is a very nice gift for those of you that are underexposed in crypto and things started to get away from you. And then we have nasty that nasty feeling sometimes, which we call FOMO, which I am one that is against giving into FOMO. I would rather, sometimes it's tough. Sometimes I would, if I feel like it's early FOMO, maybe I'll take a trading position on, but I never FOMO into long-term portfolio holdings. And many times when something's getting away from me and I haven't had time to do homework, I let it go. It's that simple. That's why our buy up to prices here at Phenom Crypto are so important. And for those of you that have had a little bit of a track record, we have so many new subscribers in the last year. I decided to put, some money into growing our list our subscriber list during the earlier days of crypto spring. It actually started out with, a good amount of people back in the late winter, which was Q4 2022, I believe, is when we launched the actual site officially. So you would ask yourself, why is a guy doing this when nobody cares about crypto? Everybody's afraid of it. People think it's a scam. But I showed you a little bit about where I live just because I afford this house, which in Miami Beach is not cheap for the winter. And I haven't showed you the whole place, but it's nice, but it's ridiculously expensive. I would never have paid this much money, even if I could scrape the dough together to do it, 10 years ago. I would never have rented somewhere like this. But because of the money, finally, guys, I made every mistake in the book in trading, investing, speculating. Finally, going into the 2020 COVID crash, I had cash ready and I was buying a crypto position all throughout the 2018-19 bear market after Bitcoin went below 8,000. A lot of this is on record. You're going to see it on the YouTube channel, Gold Investment Letter. Now we have our new Phenom Crypto Letter YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I am going to be putting out free content on this channel going forward that sometimes might not get emailed out to you. And I will give some juicy tidbits to try to make it worth your while. There's a lot of competition out there for our time and our interests. I'm just going to say this, and then I want to make this really brief. The cycles in crypto, the volatility in crypto are something to be either embraced or just completely avoided. Not a lot of people can handle the type of volatility that we have to go through. Like, some people, for example, I hate price targets, but if I have to give one, I think minimally in this cycle, and I up to my number. If you were here in Q4 2022, I was saying at least 150 on the next cyclical upturn. That's going to get crushed. Okay. 250, 275 is my mid case. High case is 375, 350, 375. And it could overshoot that, but it isn't going to undershoot 150. And it probably very likely on a mid case is going to go into the mid 200,000. So call it $250,000 on Bitcoin. So now you have Bitcoin at 60K. So you're looking at 4x from here, 4.5x on Bitcoin. But from the way here to there, boy, oh boy, it is not going to be easy, folks. And one of the things that I talk about a lot, particularly in our premium service. So, even if you're not that big of an investor, I don't know, the premium service is where you should be, because I only charge like $1,400 or something for the year. And I was going through it 2 weeks ago, but my memory's a little jacked up. How many 10 baggers did we already have? We had between 8 and 12x moves over the past 1 year, 9 months. We had at least a handful of them, and we've had many others that have gone up quite a bit. So, I still encourage everybody to make sure you focus on a core Bitcoin, Ethereum base for your portfolio. Okay. And if you are underinvested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto, now would be a great time for you to start. Hope that it goes lower. I don't know how low it's going to go in this pullback. I don't see it going below 50K. And if it did, it would be brief. But it might already be almost over. So just realize that so far, I think this percentage wise is probably the biggest pullback, like 18% from the highs just last week, that we've seen in the crypto bull market so far. The last couple were less than that. But this is child's play. You really have to mentally prepare yourself for 30 to 35%. You're going to see your portfolio get kicked in the head and down 30 to 35% once or twice on our way up to those couple 100,000 in Bitcoin, few 100,000 Bitcoin tops that we're talking about in this cycle, which should be within the next, I think, I'm preparing for within the next 12 months. A lot of people look at stock to flow models and everything else and start to think about Q4 25. That's possible. That would be more normal in terms of the timing after the halving and all these type of things. But I think what would be best for Bitcoin and Ethereum is if we get a little frustrated here, where we see the things start to trade between like 55 and 72, 60,000 and 70,000. That would be the best case scenario, because we need a breather. We need a base. We need a new base in which to launch off of. That will just mean that it's going to go even higher ultimately. I'm hoping for that, but I don't know if that's going to be the case, because there is a lot of institutional pent-up demand for this what I call global low float penny stock that affects everybody on the planet, because it has to do with money and what is money. And it's a form of defense and a form of offense, because yes, you can call it a store of value, which is actually gold. That is where I play more defense. Example, November 21 top, Bitcoin, everything hit a top then. It's S&P, QQQ and the NASDAQ, gold even. We saw that top hit when they started raising rates in the US. I put a very substantial 25% of my crypto that I had on the books. I rolled it over from that crypto into physical gold or physical gold proxies, like, ETFs, things like that. 1 year later, everything was crushed. Even like, for example, I think Bitcoin was still down over 60, 65%, S&P 45, 50%. Everything was absolutely jacked, and my gold was down 1%. So what did I do? I started moving that gold back into the crypto market. And on that first leg up that we just had a couple of months ago, when crypto just started getting wacky and took off, and we had some of our 10 baggers, I started to move a little bit of that, not much, but a bit of that back into my physical gold, which is my true store of wealth. Play defense, keep your money, keep your buying power asset. Still tops on my list, but Bitcoin is probably going to be the future preferred store of value, but it's going to take a decade or more. You don't just have an asset like gold go away. And, it's been here for thousands of years, for millennia. And then we also don't want that. Bitcoin has got venture capital type returns ahead of it. The volatility's here, the risk is here. I'm not in Bitcoin for 10%, 15% a year so that I can keep my fiat purchasing power. I'm in Bitcoin to get richer. And I got into Bitcoin initially to get rich. And so you guys, a lot of us want to get ahead. Crypto is a great place. It is the place for where that can happen, but you can't be stupid. You can't be emotionally retarded, acting on your emotions when you're scared. I've got, I'm going to end this. I've got one pretty good quality, and that is that I'm able to identify extreme emotional states. Like, for example, in March of 2020, I'm like a mutant. I was a broker since I was 20 years old. I've been in the investment business ever since. I'm 49. Got a lot of experience, but I've become, the ideal state when you're investing is to be emotionless. So I end up March of 2020, I started feeling a pit in my stomach and a ball in my throat because my stock portfolio was cut in half in like weeks, just like all of ours was. It was pretty bad. And I'm like, I thought I was doing things the right way. Well, I was, because I was able to look inside and say, I'm looking for the bottom. I got my signs of that. We did everything from buying. I did everything from buying crypto on the Gold Investment Letter, which is my largest newsletter. I put out an alert to all even free members and said buy SLV silver long-term call options that ended up going up. We took 8x profits in 5 months, 4 months. Anyway, don't listen to that emotional state that you get in. And if you do, one of the keys, I think, to being a successful investor is having the ability to take contrary action from how you feel yourself, not just the bullshit slogans of like, buy when there's blood in the streets, be fearful when others are greedy, blah, blah, blah. Do you know yourself? Well, we're going to know each other pretty soon here. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more updates. I'll have a full update out by tomorrow, talking about some of our coins and new ideas for you guys. Cheers.